So you want to get shredded for the summer and manifest pulling 10 out of 10 women. Well, that won't happen. So you want to learn the most effective way to lift. I got you, bro. Here's what you need to know about muscle growth. Muscle growth and breakdown happens all the time within the human body. So in order for muscle growth to occur, the pro-growth mechanism, in other words, nutrition, training, stress management, sleeping, you know where I'm coming from. And pro-breakdown mechanism, metabolic tension, metabolic stress, and the biggest factor, your muscles breaking down, you destroying your muscles by training. Here's one thing you have to understand. Everyone has different genetics. Some will grow muscles easier than others because one might have a better balanced out rate of pro-growth mechanism and pro-breakdown mechanism than what others may have. You have to play with the cards that you're dealt with, plain and simple. Whether your dream physique is obtainable with your genetics or not, you can still build a physique that is number 1%. Now that we got through the foundation of what muscle growth is, let us now get to other things that'll help us maximize our muscle growth. Let's start with hormones. Testosterone. The more of it you have, the more muscle you'll be able to have on your body. The topic of gaining more testosterone is more so for another video, but the main ways to get more testosterone is sleep better, optimize your nutrition, train hard and well, don't overdo it, avoid estrogenics as much as possible. But in contrast, the more cortisol you have, the less muscle you'll be able to gain, and this is because your body's in a catabolic state. With the more cortisol you have, which is going to be harder for you to be able to build that muscle. Now, the way you can decrease cortisol is plain and simple. You sleep well, get 8 to 9 hours of sleep every single day. You optimize your training. You check the amount of volume that you have. Don't have too much volume. Don't have too much of a low volume either. You want to have a moderate amount of volume. In other words, sets and reps, as well as taking supplements such as vervain, which will help with relaxation and decreasing that cortisol we all despise. The concerns in the training program should be high SFR technique and high relative effort. What is high relative effort, you may say? Cardiovascular work that goes with you exercising or any sort of activity that you're doing. That causes you to use this, your heart. These are your building blocks. If you got these two down to a T, you will do amazing. You'll put on an amazing amount of muscle. Your training structure is extremely important. The order you do your exercises alongside the order that you do your muscles, the amount of sessions that you have per week, will allow you to understand what you need to do and how to optimize your training program in order to reach. Once you have your structure understood and you now have structured sets and the amount of reps you need to do alongside the most important form, now you can focus on training quantity, which is just basically knowing how much you can do before you get too fatigued and you won't build as much muscle. That's all it is. Most of the time there's no need for high volume, and I can even argue that it's inefficient to muscle growth, as the higher your volume is, the less likely your body will be able to recover. And this is because if you're not going at a range between 6 to 12 reps and you're not getting tired out from it, that's a big issue. That means you're not training optimally. Your form isn't right. You're not training at a tempo that's exceptional. That'll start to get you tired out by the time you're close to 10 or even 12 reps. And if you aren't lifting heavy enough, that means you're not gonna get tired out with the amount of reps that I just displayed. Even though you have good form, amount of reps and everything alongside that. Your form is the most important thing when it comes to all of this. But this does not excuse you from lifting a lot lower than what you normally do. Just because you want to have perfect form and lower your weight, that's not gonna help you produce more muscle. Form is extremely important, but lifting heavy enough for you to be able to break down your muscles is also important.